Hi, hello everyone, welcome to Healing Journeys. So, I'm Christelle Ahia. On this channel, I share content related to indigenous knowledge systems, more specifically those of Africa and its diaspora. Um, at the moment, we have 3 video series available on the channel. By video series, I mean video that hold part 1, part 2, and so on. This is what I call video series. So there is one about building community, what it takes to build uh, relying communities. Then there is another one related to decolonizing, the decolonizing process, and how it's connected to spirituality. And another one that I recently started, which is related to love. How much do we practice love? Um, and here I would like to highlight the fact that these 3 series of videos work together. So I really would like to invite you to look at the 3 together. Of course, you don't have to look at all the video in one row, right? The invitation is to have a look at least one video of each of the series. Maybe you haven't at all. Maybe you have already watched only one of those videos. The idea is really to combine them uh, because it all goes together. And even beyond those videos, like let's say the content that I share here, the videos are usually related to each other. And you can see that in the description, I add like another link for other video of the channel that are related to the video. So if you want to find like related videos after watching a video, please have a look like in the description. I often add a link for another video on top, of course, of like the recommendation that you can receive at the end of the videos. Those recommendations are not always chosen by me. Usually it's like the algorithm sort out the best for viewer, basically. So let's go back to our series of video, why it's important. So as you progress, as you engage, or as you even start researching knowledge on African spirituality, or more specifically on your spiritual journey, you can observe, and maybe it has already been the case for you, that your circle, like the people surrounding you, this circle is going to change, even maybe disappear, or you may also encounter that you have less space to share what matters for you, and that you are willing to have other places, other spaces, other people to share with. And this is when the need for community is, and it is when you start to feel this need. And maybe you already have the tools, maybe you don't have the tools on how to join or start your own community, another group, how to find them, and so on. And this is where the series on what it takes to build reliable, strong community is going to be important, because it's directly connected to our spiritual processes, our spiritual journeys, right? How we show up in groups, how we show up with each other, how we even show up for ourselves, right? The first community that we have is us. We are already a community. We have various organs, and you may already be familiar that we also have like many bacteria living within us. So we are already a community of living beings. This is already important to understand and acknowledge that. And community, when we understand it from African perspective, it's not only with living human beings, it also incorporates other living beings, those that are labeled as vegetals or minerals, for instance, the other animals, so not only the human animals, but the other ones. So this is already like a huge community. Um, then you have also, you can include your spiritual guides, your ancestors. Um, just if ancestors and ascendants, if those are not, it's not that clear for you, I have a video on the channel talking about that. I can also add it in the description of the video. So it's first important to acknowledge who you are in community with, starting from yourself. So, and then of course the skills and what it takes to develop community, especially when it comes to spirituality, right? So this is important, and it comes together with the process of decolonizing. Decolonizing, colonization has affected us, all of us, without any distinction, one way or another. And it, how can I say, it wasn't only let's say political. We we know that it was at various level, including spiritual level, also psychological or mental level, if you prefer, emotional level. When you have people dominating you, it creates certain kind of emotions within you. When you have people um, like forcing on you certain beliefs, certain ways of doing, changing your ways of speaking, of eating, of living, your perspective on the world, when it creates certain emotions. So it has like colonization, the colonial processes also have like impact on emotional levels, energetical levels, and I've already said it, right? Um, Spiritual level, and of course physical level. This is quite obvious, right? So it's important to think of all of that when we think of decolonizing. It cannot be only an intellectual process. It is very important, yes, to have the intellectual knowledge, to have the input, but it cannot only be this. We also need to think of how we decolonize spiritually, on a spiritual level, on the emotional level. This is also very important. That's why it goes hand in hand with spirituality, especially if when you are willing to embrace, know, get more familiar with African spiritual systems, African knowledge systems, and those of the diaspora, of course. And why it's connected to community? Well, community is at the center of African, not only knowledge systems, but even perspectives on life, on what it means to be alive and how we live together. Um, so this is quite important to have in mind. Meaning, we need the skills, we need training, we need spaces for those community to exist, and it starts with us. Um, yeah, and the last point is love. That the new video series that I have started. How do we make space for love in our lives? And I'm not here talking specifically about romantic love. I'm talking about love in general. We know that it's a very powerful emotion and also spiritual force. So, how much space do we make for it in our daily life, in our daily routine? And how much space do we make first for love toward ourselves, right? That's the first community we have. I've already mentioned it. So this is also important to at least um, have that in mind and ask those questions. And love goes together with community, right? If you want to like be live share in like communal spaces, we need a certain kind of love for ourselves, so we don't abandon ourselves like in the community. We also don't take all for ourselves. We find like a balance. It's connected to self-love, right? And the love that we are able to express to other people, and how we are able to show up and so on. And we can also think of that how all the various colonization have impacted our ability to love ourselves and love other people, right? How much do we consider love, loving other human beings, um, in comparison to money, for instance, right? This is a very, I think, relevant questions and ongoing questions. Um, how much do we give love space in our interactions with other people? Um, when money is not involved, or how much do we interact with people when money is not involved, when money is not going to be involved? Do we still give space for that? Do we have space for that in our like life? Is it possible? Do we believe even that it's possible? I think that's already the beginning. So I really would like to invite you to have a look at those um, videos, the videos of this series. Yeah, I'm going to release more videos, of course, related to that. If you are already looking for communal practices, practices that you can do with other people, I invite you to join either the release movement session that I offer monthly, 30 minutes for free, available online. It's live with me, and the release relax reset session monthly. You need to get a ticket for that. There is a special pricing if you get a ticket for two people. Yeah, and they're going to have, I mean, I wish, I hope, and I'm working on offering more spaces for us to come together live and even physically outside the online world. And this is going to happen in 2026, so stay tuned. Um, that's it for me for today. I wish you well. Let's take care of ourselves and of each other. See you soon.